Kangas and Scott Bryan Wilson, who are the co-creators of a new book from IDW that I believe comes out this coming Wednesday, True Cult. So my first question actually is, am I pronouncing it correctly, or is there some kind of great heavy metal pronunciation I'm totally missing? Like, no,
you got it. We've been collecting the odd pronunciations, but you got it right first time.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
It's our fault for spelling it that way, but it has been amusing.
No, now I can't stop spelling true with a V. It's
exactly. It happens.
Yeah, it happens.
I think at this point, everyone's replacing the U's for V's, and anyone who's worked on the book. So
understandable. Which fast food job inspired you to create this?
Why would you think a fast food job inspired? I don't understand the question.
No, okay. Well, what was the inspiration for the book then?
Yeah, high school, first job. Yeah, I mean that's where a lot of it comes from. I remember very specifically having the job and not knowing I was going to be a writer, or not knowing anything about what I was going to do, what was going to become of my life. But I remember thinking very clearly, just remember all this. This is completely insane. Just remember this. And I kept it in the vault until it was time to put it in a comic book, 30 years later. So.
Okay, then I got to ask, what was the wildest true story of working fast food for you?
Maybe the funniest. Honestly, we could do 2 or 3 hours on it because I got a million, but maybe the funniest thing that comes to mind is a guy clocked in on his first day. They were like, "You're going to be on the grill." He said, "Cool." Immediately walked out back and started smoking. The manager saw it, fired him, and then he came back the following week to get his check, which was for about 6 minutes of work. So
I still feel like I beat everybody out of the water on this one.
Yeah, let's hear it.
If I can, I was
Please.
proposed to one day at work by another employee from a different establishment. So
you did at least know him?
surprisingly, but it wouldn't have. I wouldn't put it past somebody, a stranger at that point. So.
Well, besides fast food, what is the thing that powers your creative collaboration on this book?
Communication. I mean, I feel like Scott and I have a lot in common. So really, I feel like we just get along so well that it's easy to work so well together, especially, I don't know, like, I thought I knew the answer to that one. Sorry, Scott.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think what it comes down to is we both love comics so much.
Yeah.
Just eat, breathe, sleep comics. And this book from the beginning has just been about, let's make the best comic we can that is the most rewarding on reading, rereading, fill it with everything funny that we can, and make exactly the book we want to make, right? And at one point we were like, early on, we were just like, hey, let's just make it ourselves. We'll just sell it out of the trunk of the car, right? Like, that's what we'll do. Like, we'll print it at the print shop and sell it out of the trunk of the car. And we were both totally fine with that, right? So, that because we just believed in the book so much and we wanted to make it so much.
Well, you ended up at IDW, so why were they the right publisher? They've been talking. We had a few options, and they were the ones who clearly loved the book, and were really excited about it. And they've been so supportive. And then when they were launching the IDW original line, which just launched last month with Scott Snyder and Hayden Sherman's Dark Spaces. That's right. Dark Spaces Wildfire, right? Mm-hmm.
Wildfire, yeah.
When they were launching the IDW Originals line, Mark Doyle, who's the editor of the line, called me to say, hey, what's up with this True Cult? I mean, can we take this book or what? This would be perfect for the line, So they've been just from the beginning. They were really interested in the book. So there was really no question that's who we were going to go with all along. So
to have a publisher be as enthusiastic about the source material that we have been creating for such a long period of time was so gratifying, because they just got it, like Scott said.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like perfect fit.
So it's interesting. You've been working on this for a long time, and I probably should have said up front to anybody watching this that you're combining fast food, obviously from the questions up front. There's a little heavy metal, and I think a little satanic panic, which
Yeah.
seems to be in the air again right now. Like we're almost nostalgic in the culture for satanic panic. So, what brought that in for you, and how do you feel this book fits in that strange wave?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a huge fan of crime fiction and crime films, and I wanted to do this heist book, with a crime, but takes place in a fast food restaurant. And then, it was just natural that Satan should be a part of it.
Sure, perfectly
I
natural.
love the biggest like pitch for me when Scott told me about it was like the cult aspect of it, because like I have a weird, I wouldn't say obsession, but like a very large interest in both, I guess, crime noir and stuff like that, but mostly cults. So just gonna add all of my favorite things in a comic. I'm not gonna say no to drawing it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah, and I had just read I think when I first started the book, started working on it, the pitch originally before I even met Liana back in 2017. I was reading a lot of stuff about Scientology too, including the book Going Clear by Lawrence Wright. And I think a lot of that really stuck with me and really, really sort of colors the way that we write about the different cult members in the book too.
Which in the first issue, we really only kind of seen glimpses of.
Mhm.
So I can't speak to how those characters are working, but I'm looking forward to it. I did really appreciate kind of a little bit of interesting things that Marty listens to. You reference Winger, which I don't know why that one just cracks me up, that I'm thinking heavy metal and Winger never strikes me that way. But Queensryche, Lita Ford, I get that. And it seems like he has his epiphany about fast food with Lita Ford. So what singer or band helped you, that in your choice of what you wanted to do with your life, because music does play a big part in a lot of creative.
I was a huge, I mean, I still am a Queens of Stone Age fan. Actually, it's weird because I am drinking out of a Queens of Stone Age mug. But that and an offshoot band called Mini Mansions, they're both very big influences on one of the reasons why I wanted to like draw comics in general. Actually, one of the first comics I ever drew was literally based off of a song on Songs for the Deaf from the Queens of Stone Age album. So,
and you're doing some work for Z2, correct?
yes, yeah,
and
I've done actually a lot of work. Some of it's not out yet. So,
okay, but yeah, so that's an interesting connection. And Scott, how about you? What band influences you?
Oh man, I don't know if I could even name one. I mean, I'm a other than comics, I'm just super obsessed with music. It's just a huge part of my life. It's a huge part of my writing process. I mean, you can see over here, there's just a wall of cassette tapes, so it's I don't know if there's even one thing I could even point to,
But you have led to my last question, which is Marty mentions buying things on cassette, and that's the store doesn't sell those anymore. So what's your preferred music medium for both of you? Cassette, CD, streaming, or vinyl?
Cassette, CD, vinyl, streaming, not in that order, but all four. I mean, streaming would be last, but I listen to tape, CDs, and vinyl indiscriminately. I tend to, though, I will only listen to one format each day because it's a headache to switch between the different units. But like today was tapes, just nonstop tapes all day. Yesterday I listened to CDs, so it just kind of depends.
Okay.
Physical media.
Physical.
I don't think I realized it until you just said like the switching in between mediums. I didn't realize that I also do that until you just mentioned it, because it is a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
But I only listen to CDs in the car. My preferred is vinyl because of the sound quality. But I do streaming because I drum a lot and it's a lot easier to put it in my ears faster. So,
Yeah.
but vinyl all the way.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
I
The
collect cassettes, but I don't listen to them, which is weird.
I have a couple of boxes. Yeah. I mean, it's hard to get rid of them, you know, to part with them, I
Yeah.
guess.
Right.
So,
Right. Right. Sure.
Mhm.
just like comics. So I got to say,
Mm.
thank you both. And the book is True Cult from IDW, and that is spelled TRVE KVLT. If you're looking for it at your local comic shop, it is, at least the first issue is a blast. So I'm going to assume the whole rest of it is too. So thanks for joining me today. Really,
Thank
really
you. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thanks for watching. Please hit the subscribe button to make sure you don't miss out on any Fanboy Planet video content. And visit fanboyplanet.com for other features, reviews, interviews, previews, and of course, listening to the Fanboy Planet podcast. And remember, use your powers for good.